It's 1973 in Murphysboro, Illinois. A couple parked by the Big Muddy River started getting freaky when a 7-foot mud-smeared monster burst out of the woods, shrieking like a banshee on bath salts. Cops arrive, spot massive claw prints, then hear that god-awful wail and bolt for their cruisers like their asses were on fire. Even the hardened cops nope the fuck out of there, hauling ass from the big muddy monster. What the hell was prowling those swamps? I'm Uncle Perry. I don't just tell stories, I dig up the fucked up ones most folks are too chicken shit to talk about. And I do it in a cavalier kind of way. From cryptids and government secrets to UFOs and aliens, I chase down the truth behind the legends. This week, we're unraveling the Big Muddy Monster, a 7-foot beast that's been terrorizing folks in Murphysboro, Illinois since 1949. Y'all ready to tear it up? Let's get it! Let's dive head first straight into the sightings. And there's a shitload of them. So hang on to your ass. This one's going to be one hell of a ride. Let's go back to the fall of 1949, down at the Murphysboro Iron and Metal Company scrapyard. Picture rusted out train cars, twisted rebar, and that thick, big muddy river fog rolling in like a bad hangover. Suddenly, workers start losing their shit. Something's prowling the old railroad tracks after dark. Eyes glowing like hot coals in the moonlight. One guy swears it's a wolf on steroids. Another says it's smaller than a fox but moves wrong, like it's mocking physics. A third dude's convinced it's got a dog's face stitched onto something that ain't no dog. Straight up nightmare fuel. Then you got the old-timers insisting it's a bear strolling upright on its hind legs like it's late for a union meeting. Shit gets so bad, the owner's hemorrhaging workers faster than a sinking ship. So he slaps a $100 bounty on the thing, dead or alive. That's $1,300 in today's money. Problem? Nobody can agree on what to look for. At this point, the descriptions are all over the place. The reward? Unclaimed. The creature stays free, and the scrapyard keeps its residential boogeyman. Whatever was out there, it was smart enough to avoid the whole damn operation. August 11, 1968. Tim Bullock and his girlfriend Barbara Smith are cruising northeast of Chittyville with the windows down. They're cruising through when wham! A creature fucking hurls a fistful of dirt through the open window like a drunk ex chucking her ring at the trailer front door. Barbara starts screaming loud enough to wake the dead. She then gets a good look. 10 feet tall, head the size of a goddamn steering wheel, black as midnight, with a round, hairy face that looks like it's been dragged through a briar patch. Tim floors it, gravel spitting like buckshot, and they haul ass straight to the cops. Next day, Tim's back with a hangover and a mission. He finds a big-ass depression in the grass by the side of the road, like two good old boys wrestled there until they both passed out. This ain't no raccoon, folks. This happened 15 miles west of where the Big Muddy Monster would blow up in '73. Same stomping grounds, different decade. The beast was just getting warmed up. June 25th, 1973, just before midnight. Randy Needham and Judy Johnson are fogging up the windows of his car down at Riverside Park, parked right at the old boat ramp where the Big Muddy River laps at the bank like a drunk uncle. Judy's daddy forbade her from dating Randy, so naturally, they picked the most isolated, mosquito-riddled makeout spot in town. Big fucking mistake. They're about to head out when the air turns to rotten swamp ass. Then comes the sound. A shriek so raw, it's like an eagle gargling broken glass through a megaphone. Randy kills the music. Another howl rips the night, brush rattling like something huge is bulldozing straight for them. Headlights snap on. There it is. 8 feet of mud-smeared nightmare stomping out like a gorilla that just wrestled a septic tank. Judy screams. Randy slams the pedal. Tires spitting gravel everywhere, and they fishtail the hell out of there like the Dukes of Hazzard. They hit the police station, still shaking. Judy knows Dad's gonna lose his shit when he finds out about Randy, but getting grounded beats getting eaten. They file an unknown creature report. Oversized gorilla, matted white fur streaked with big muddy slime, reeking like death's armpit. Cops actually take it seriously. They roll out and find 3-toed tracks the size of dinner plates in the river mud. Search parties fan out with flashlights and shotguns. This was the night the big muddy monster officially introduced itself. June 26, 1973. Yeah, the very next goddamn night. 10:30 p.m. 5-year-old Christian Barrel is out in his backyard, close enough to the big muddy river to smell the rot, chasing fireflies with a mason jar. He's having a blast when suddenly a colossal white shape looms up from behind the fence, separating his yard from the neighbor's place. He drops the jar and hauls ass inside, screaming, "Daddy! Daddy! There's a big ghost in the backyard!" Dad's thinking it's total bullshit, but then the neighbors back the story up. Next door, Cheryl Ray and her boyfriend, Randy Creeth, son of a state trooper and future minister, are hanging out on the back porch. There's a rustle in the bushes 15 feet out. Cheryl's pissed off, figuring it's nosy neighborhood brats spying on their makeout sesh. She storms inside to flip the porch light while Randy jumps up intimidatingly. The light snaps on. Oh, hell no! The same mud-caked, white-furred abomination from the night before stares back at them. Randy hollers for Cheryl. They freeze. 8 feet tall, built like a goddamn linebacker who ate another linebacker. Long, shaggy hair matted with river slime. Heads dome-shaped. Arms hang gorilla long. The stench hits like raw sewage and dead fish had a baby in a gym sock. Eyes, Randy says, glowing red due to a distant streetlight. Cheryl swears they glowed on their own. The creature weighs at least 350 pounds and stands at 8 feet, posture more upright than ape. They stare. It stares. 30 seconds feels like a fucking eternity. Then the thing just pivots, shoulders through the shrubbery like a bulldozer, and thrashes off toward the river, snapping branches loud enough to wake up everybody. Cops Nash and Manwaring roll up and catch a noseful of that rank-ass odor before it fades. They spot a cluster of prints right where the thing stood. Chief Toby Berger calls in the cavalry and empties the station, all 14 officers. Then calls Carbondale for Jerry Nellis and his badass German Shepherd Reb. Reb's a search and rescue, attack dog, man-tracking legend. They find a trail of weird black slime oozing from the porch straight to the river. Reb locks onto the scent instantly, drags the cops through busted limbs and trampled brush and down a steep bank to a pond. The brush gets too thick. Flashlights sweep. Reb picks it up again and bolts toward an abandoned barn. The dog gets to the sagging door of the barn and hesitates. What the fuck? The fearless tracker starts trembling and whining, his tail tucked. Nellis grabs him by the scruff and tries to shove him in. Reb belly crawls backwards, ears pinned down, whimpering like a kicked puppy. That's enough for Chief Berger. He radios every department within spitting distance. Within an hour, a dozen patrol cars swarmed the scene. But whatever was holed up in that barn slipped out the back while they were mustering everyone. The search gets called at dawn. The big muddy monster just flipped the bird to the entire goddamn police force and their best dog. July 7, 1973, 2 a.m. The Miller Brothers Carnival was closed. Lights off, Midway empty except for the smell of stale popcorn and elephant piss. 3 carnies, Otis Norris, Ray Adkerson, and Wesley Lavender, are counting crumpled singles and shooting the shit. The Shetland ponies start freaking out. Tied up, these little kiddie ride veterans start whinnying like they're looking at a glue factory. Eyes rolling white, yanking ropes so hard the stakes groan. The carnies jump up. There it is, 8 feet tall, 400 pounds of matted white fur from hell. No face you can see under all that hair, just standing there looking at the ponies, calm as shit. The guys run screaming for backup. The monster? It just turns and lumbers off the opposite way. No fucks given. Summer 1973, deep in the big muddy bottoms. 2 coon hunters are out with their dogs, 22s slung over their shoulders, their boots sucking mud, thinking it's just another night of chasing garbage pandas. Their dogs pick up a hot scent and go completely apeshit, baying like hellhounds. The trail leads straight to a half-rotted barn in a weed-choked field. Growls roll out of the barn, low and guttural, rattling the tin roof. It was like nothing they had ever heard before. One guy tries coaxing his lead dog through the door. The dog plants its paws, tail tucked. Hell no! So the hunter grabs the mutt by the scruff and chucks it inside like a grenade. The dog hits the dirt. Immediately, a shriek straight out of a nightmare. The trained pooch explodes back out, galloping for the tree line. The hunters right behind, boots pounding, hearts in their throats, diving into the truck like they're a bunch of stuntmen. Come sunrise, some liquid courage and a posse of buddies with much bigger guns, they roll back. The barn's empty. Eerily, they discover a set of massive, sloppy footprints tracking them from the barn door across the field right where their truck was parked the night before. The hunters weren't hunting a monster. The monster was hunting them. Summer 1973. Now, the big dick daddy of all big muddy monster spotters was this grizzled old-timer who ran a junkyard hugging the riverbank. One day, he's poking around for the source of a stench, like roadkill baked in sewer juice, when out of nowhere, he sees the beast eyeballing him from behind a stack of gutted Chevys. White, matted fur, 7+ feet of river slime swagger. Most folks would have shipped bricks and moved to Nebraska. Not this guy. After a few more pop-up visits, same stink, same hulking silhouette, he just shrugs and sets ground rules. Smell the rot, steer clear. He sees the creature dozens of times over the summer and hears its full vocal playlist. Grunts, snarls, whistles, howls that sound like your mom after a vodka bender. The cops take the reports but file them under, yeah, whatever, and never show up to investigate. So old Junkyard Joe and the Mud Monster, they reach an unspoken agreement. He keeps the daylight shift, the beast takes the night, and the river keeps their dirty little secret. Spring 1988. A bartender from the Midland Inn in Murphysboro, also a rugby player for Southern Illinois University, hikes into the backcountry to a hidden lake and starts casting for bass. For hours, brush pops behind him. He shrugs it off. Meh, squirrels, deer, turkey, whatever. Then whole trees start snapping like kindling. A thick, black, venomous water moccasin surfaces nearby. So he switches to a number 5 treble hook, snags it, drags it up the bank, and smashes its head with a stick. He wraps the corpse around a branch and pins it to a tree. That's the trigger. 2 cinder block-sized rocks kerplunk in the water right in front of him. He whips to that direction. There it stands, 5 fucking feet wide at the shoulders. Pure ripped muscle, at least 7 feet tall on the rise. Mud-streaked white fur, eyes locked on him like he just murdered its pet. Then it screamed. A high-pitched siren that raises every hair on your ass, climbing into a skull-rattling wail that vibrates the lake. He freezes, rugby legs completely useless. He glances around for an escape route. 2 seconds later, when he turns back, it's gone, melted into the timber. He snatches whatever gear his hands hit and hauls ass, sprinting till his cardio-trained lungs scream, eventually dropping to a panicked jog, waiting to feel its claws in his spine the whole way to the truck. He never went back. The snake, the rocks, the scream, the white beast seared into his memory like moonshine through a straw. March 6, 2012. Tom's rumbling across the railroad tracks in his truck, the same stretch of iron that's been a hot spot since the scrapyard days, when he spots them, 2 black silhouettes chilling in the greenery about 100 yards out. One's planted on its ass like it's waiting for a parade. The others standing ramrod straight, tall, lanky, the same 8-foot-plus shadow Tom's been eyeballing for months. Pure black fur, no face, built like 450 pounds of midnight muscle. The sitter, a beefy 450 to 500 pounds, looking like the pregnant lady of the pair. Sounds like the big muddy monster is starting a family. Tom freezes, foot off the gas. The tall one lifts an arm toward him, slow, deliberate, like it's waving. Suddenly, a train horn blares and lights flicker down the line. He wants to pull over and snag a pic, but the road's busy and the moment's gone. He rolls on, heart pounding, swearing he's going to get a dash cam. The big muddy monster's got a family riding those rails, and they're not shy. October 12, 2020. Giant City State Park. Red Cedar Trail primitive campsite, smack in the middle of a 12-mile hiking loop of dense forest, lakes, and ponds. 3 seasoned hikers, a 10-year police vet, USMC vet, prison guard, the husband, his wife, and their female buddy trudge 7 miles in. They set up camp in a tight triangle, the fires crackling from dead wood found laying around. They scarf dehydrated grub, sip tea, and bullshit till the flames die down. Wife and husband zip in. Their buddy doom scrolls her phone a bit longer, then sacks out. Walnuts occasionally thump off the husband's tarp. Standard percussion for a guy who hikes the Appalachian Trail twice a year. He pokes his head out, watches the embers fade, zips back in, then out cold. Sometime between midnight and 3 a.m., a heavy slap rocks his tarp. No roll, no walnut clatter. His heart is hammering. Years of cuffs, combat, and cell block stares, and he's paralyzed. Pure primal fear. Eventually, dawn breaks. His wife's first words are, "Something on 2 legs circled my tent last night." Their buddy said, "Mine too." He said, "Something smacked my tarp. hard. His wife lays it all out. Bipedal footsteps prowled around their triangle, checked her tent, moved to the buddy's tent, then slapped the husband's hammock. The whole visit was quick and quiet. Minutes later, the first howl. Deep siren climbing to a high pitch, then woo-woo, pause, woo-woo again. 15 minutes after that, same song, same direction the footprints vanished. They break camp rattled but unharmed. The leaves removed the possibility for prints and there was no smell. The husband's convinced the slap was a warning shot. Man in camp. Wife and buddy felt the same dread but never saw the bastard. The big muddy monster is still patrolling its turf, and it let 3 people live to tell the tale. So, what the hell is this thing? Well, the theories are all over the place. All right, let's get into the explanations for this thing. The skeptics love to roll their eyes and say, "Nothing to see here." So let's lay out their theories on the big muddy monster first. Hoax or prank. These folks swear this whole shitstorm was nothing but bored teenagers or small-town attention whores cooking up a tall tale. Fake screams, fabricated footprints, a dude in a gorilla suit, and boom, instant local legend. They claim the couple making out, the carnies, the cops, are all in on the gag. Misidentified animal. It's a big old bear rolling around in the mud, or an escaped zoo ape. The stench? Just rotting river vegetation and dead critters. Those shrieks like an eagle on a megaphone? Coyotes, foxes, bobcats, or owls. The white fur's just the moonlight playing tricks on you, and the size, like a fisherman, gets puffed up in the retelling. 3-toed tracks? Bear paws squishing weirdly in the muck. Mass hysteria or suggestibility. One wild story hits the police blotter and suddenly every rustle in the bushes is a 7-foot monster. Social contagion kicks in. Folks primed by the first report start seeing what they expect to see. Late night jitters, a little beer, a lot of gossip, and ordinary wildlife turns into a swamp demon. The tight cluster of sightings in 73, just panic feeding panic. Environmental factors. The Big Muddy's a murky, fog-choked hellscape. Dense foliage, sucking mud, nocturnal critters everywhere. Throw in stress, darkness, and adrenaline, and your brain figures the rest. A splash in the water, a branch snap, a whiff of decay, that's all it takes to birth a legend. Remote spots like Riverside Park or junkyards amplify the spook factor. Bottom line, this skeptical house of cards collapses like your sister during happy hour. Hoaxers don't make attack dogs piss themselves or leave black slime trails from porch to river. Bears don't throw rocks the size of cinder blocks, slap hammocks at 3 in the morning, or stare at ponies. Mass hysteria doesn't span from 1949 scrapyard creatures to 2020 campsite prowlers. Environmental tricks don't track hunters to their truck. Cops, Marines, junkyard vets, these ain't jumpy city folks seeing shadows. The Big Muddy Monster's been haunting southern Illinois since before color TV. Let's talk about the real Big Muddy Monster myth. This ain't folklore. It's a living legend with claws, slime, and a scream that'll curl your pubes into a fro. Undiscovered hominid. Cryptozoologists like Harlan Sorkin call it straight. This is a goddamn Sasquatch cousin. a massive bipedal primate hiding in the river bottoms. Tibetans got the Yeti. The Rockies got Bigfoot. Southern Illinois, meet the mud monster, chilling in the Shawnee National Forest's endless buffet. The 1973 floods flushed it from some cave hideout, pissed off and homeless, right into our laps. 7 to 10 feet, upright swagger, white fur caked in swamp goo. Classic hominid, just a local flavor. Supernatural entity. Some old-timers whisper it's more than flesh. A spirit, skinwalker, or interdimensional tourist popping in for a scare. Sudden materializations? No trail in, no trail out. Those banshee wails? Not ape chatter. That's otherworldly vocals rattling souls. Regional cryptid. This ain't your PNW flannel-wearing Sasquatch. Big muddy monster's unique. Mud-armored. Red eyes glowing like brake lights. Stench that could gag a buzzard. 3-toed stompers. Black slime trails. It's local swamp royalty, not some transplant. Physical evidence. Footprints? Dinner plate slabs, 3 toes, sticky with river mud. Black slime? Sewage-thick goo in dead straight lines from water to sightings. Never tested because cops were too busy shitting bricks. Reb the Wonder Dog? Fearless tracker hits the barn door and instantly pusses out, whimpering, belly crawling, refusing to enter. That's some straight up primal oh shit recognition, not rabbit scent. This is a flesh and slime, or maybe spirit and slime, apex predator that's owned the Big Muddy since 1949. Floods, caves, forests. It's got the run of the place. Prints, slime, dog meltdowns, decades of matching screams from junkyards to campsites. That's not coincidence. That's a permanent resident. Skeptics can clutch their mass hysteria pearls, but when a hardened Marine freezes at a tarp slap, you know what's up. The Big Muddy Monster is real. It's regional, and it's been laughing at us from the fog for 70 years. Step off the trail at your own risk. Look, most cryptid yarns die around campfires with a beer and a shrug. This one's got official police ink. Murphysboro PD still lists it as one of 2 unsolved cases in their dusty archives. Cops ran. Dogs cowered. Footprints got cast. That's not folklore. That's reality. The Big Muddy Monster ain't your standard Sasquatch. Witnesses swear on long, silvery white hair flowing like a goddamn shampoo commercial. Eyes glowing red like demon taillights. And a stride smooth as a panther on Molly. Big? Fuck yeah, but otherworldly, like it stepped out of a glitch in reality. Some say it crawled straight out of the river's ass. Others figure it was migrating through, giving a middle finger to humanity along the way. Ask any local, though, they'll tell you straight. Something rolled into town and scared the living piss out of everybody. Every June, Murphysboro throws the Big Muddy Monster Festival. Vendors, speakers, scavenger hunts, art, tunes, monster-themed everything. Family-friendly weirdness, but the real draw? That electric buzz of a town that turned a 7-foot nightmare into pure magic. Come feel the hairs on your neck stand up. The river's watching and waiting. Are you a fan of weird-ass monsters, government conspiracies, aliens, or UFOs? Then tap that like button and subscribe. That way you won't miss out on more of my fucked up commentary. And besides, I really do appreciate it. Is the big muddy monster an albino Bigfoot? Or just folks blowing shit way out of proportion? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're ready to crank that shit all the way up to 11, that join button's got your name on it. For just $2.99, you can have my back in a huge way. Until next time, y'all keep it real, keep it chill, and stay creepy! Catch you on the flip. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You are the real beast.